Hi, F-holes. It's good to see you again. Today we are going to talk about how much size matters. We know it really does. So buckle up because we're going to talk about what happens when all of this doesn't fit right and we have to make some changes for ourselves or for our students. So enjoy. Pour yourself a glass of something good. I've got tea tonight. And I'll see you in a moment.
Welcome to Advice for F-Holes. I am so excited to talk to you about all things strings. We're going to talk to teachers, we're going to talk to performers, we're going to talk to learners of string instruments so that we can figure some of this shit out together. Because playing a string instrument is not always easy, and sometimes it's vaguely inappropriate. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a topic each week, we're going to pull it apart, and I'm going to say what I need to say, and then you're going to comment, and hopefully we'll figure some of this stuff out together. I'm your host, Tracy Emerson. I've been teaching strings for over 30 years. I started playing violin back in 3rd grade, and there are a lot of great things that I've learned over the years, a lot of great things I've shared over the years, and still so many things that I'm puzzled about. So I hope you'll join me on this adventure as we figure some of this out together.
We're going to talk about how size matters. We love talking about these things. Size does not fit all when it comes to instruments or people, and that doesn't just mean when we change from a 3/4 to a full size. There are lots of places where we need to readjust and shape up some of the things we're doing. Okay, story time. Let's talk about my 7th graders that just started with me this year, my new crop. They came from, the intermediate school, and they show up the first week with instruments and joy and with positions that looked like they were those poster children in those school concert attire catalogs. You know the ones I mean, where, the ladies with the long nails are like this on their instrument. Yeah, loved it. So there were all kinds of bent wrists going on, all kinds of buck teeth on their bow, missing pinkies. Who knows what was going on with them? Cello players looked like they were just hugging on and holding on to a raft for dear life in the middle of the ocean. So let's figure this out. I know 3 things right off the bat. 1, I saw them play in their May concert, and they looked fabulous. They know how to hold their instruments. Okay. 2, my colleagues are phenomenal. So I know that they've been taught how to hold their instruments properly. It's been reinforced. It's been prioritized because technique is so important in those beginning years. And I work with some of the best people in the entire country. So to think that it can blame it on poor teaching, that's not an option. Okay, 3rd thing I know is that some students, we're going to have a percentage of those kids that are going to struggle with holding that instrument properly for all kinds of reasons. We've got a lot of kids with motor skill issues these days. Maybe students are playing string instruments that probably wouldn't have 30 years ago, and I'm overjoyed that they're playing. And eventually they'll grow into that. So there is a fraction of students that we just have to be patient with, and we have to prioritize. Okay, so what about, the hillbillies that are sitting in my orchestra? All right, well, why aren't they holding them up then? Do they care? I think they care. Do they have a rapport with me? We're working on that. A lot of the students I already taught in the summer program that we have, so that was awesome. So we already have a good thing going. I don't think they're just trying to test me, although you never know. That could happen. Okay. And we've already established the fact that they've been taught well. So I think that eliminates a lot from our plate, and it kind of flushes out the fact that size. Okay. So a lot of these kids probably had growth spurts over the summer. And we always think growth spurt means, okay, they're this much larger, but it also means their hands are larger. It means that their arms are longer. Oh my gosh, when my sons were young and growing, that's where they grew first. Their arms, I could never find sleeves that would fit them, long sleeves. They don't grow, kids don't grow in, a way that even makes sense sometimes. So this person could be sitting there with great posture, and then a week later, their fingers are all over the place. And what we have to do is go, okay, here's your fingers. Now we have to reestablish where those new fingers are going to go. Obviously, we need to make sure that the student is on the right size instrument. And that's an entire different episode. We can go on for hours and hours about how to fit a student properly to the size instrument, and it can vary as much as each person. I mean, people are different as snowflakes. So, not that I'm calling our students snowflakes. Oh my God, they're such snowflakes. So, when we take a good look at what's happening with those students, they have been playing this instrument a long time already. 2 years, 3 years. For some of you by 7th grade, they've been playing 5 years. For some of you in high school that are still adjusting to the way you are, renegotiating your size on this planet, it is a never-ending battle. So what does that mean? It means that you've put in a lot of time and a lot of effort to be great at this instrument, to enjoy this instrument. So we owe it to that instrument, and we owe it to our musician selves to make sure that we are focusing on those things so that we can become even better. Now, are there ways to make it fun? Yeah, kind of. But I think more than anything, we fall into the nagging kind of behavior, and I think that's great. So repetition, lather, rinse, repeat on the shampoo bottles. Although, who reads shampoo bottles? So, for example, when we're talking about bow holds, and we're talking about that blessed pinky, effing pinky, doing a quick tap, tap, tap every time you put it on the string. Then, guess what? Eventually, that's white noise, and you'll sound like the Peanuts teachers. Wah, 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 wah. So, you come up with a new one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, or you do the seesaw. And, maybe pick up a new one every week and just roll with that so we keep it fresh, but they're still paying attention to that one skill that really just needs attention. Similar with, the left hand. I honestly sometimes do a little review of, hey, how did you learn to hold that? How did they teach you that when you were in 4th grade? And they have to teach me, okay? I also have a checklist, which I'm going to share in the comments for you if you want to use this with your students, because I use this as a quiz. They get a week to look it over. I take a good look at them, and we talk about it together and kind of do an evaluation of where you are out of those 13 points. They get to pay attention to fixing those things for a week. Next week, they show me that it's progress, that you can do it, even though it may not be fixed yet, can do it. And then that's a really great tool for them to use. And it's a thing we can revisit. Again, talking to the students like they're human beings and speaking to yourself like you're a human being is really helpful, because there are motivators they're already there for you. You don't have to give them a piece of candy every time their wrist is straight, although it doesn't sound like a bad idea. Even adults, we forget that sometimes we'll get a different shoulder rest, or it's a different season and we're wearing bulkier clothes and everything just doesn't seem to work right. We have to revisit as well. We have to revisit all kinds of things with our bow. I know that for me, my bow thumb is awesome because I had to fix that all through high school. And now I'm vigilant about it. But sometimes when I play, my first finger will get a little sloppy over here. So I know that when I'm playing, I need to kind of give myself a little boost mentally about doing that. Okay, so good luck. My students are looking so much better already. I hope you've enjoyed this little chat. Please post some comments and share what some of the tricks are you do to remind your students and to help your students adjust when that new size comes around. And we'll be talking again soon on advice for F-holes.
Thank you for listening to Advice for F-holes. Please subscribe and share your comments below so we can have a great conversation.